welcome to my guide to the human design environment type wide valleys. Okay, so I was drawn to this and to researching this yesterday. I have been aware of human design for about 4 years now, and I have been in that experiment on and off for those 4 years. I can't 100% say I have committed myself to it 100%. However, I'm being drawn back to it now, so it's time to start really bringing it forward. So hopefully this is going to be the first, even though it shouldn't be the first. Okay, hopefully this is going to be one of the videos that's going to slot in to a series all about human design and how I uncovered my human design and what that's actually done for me, I guess, because that's the key thing, right? Because I found, when I first found human design, I found it so empowering. It literally gave me the permission slip to be me. And it was like, oh, so I don't have to try to fit in with everybody else because I'm actually slightly different, or, so I don't have to make decisions based on my logic because I have this other tool to make my decisions with. And so it just really, when I stepped into this energetic world, it just really was one of the things that really, really helped me to really reclaim my power. So, as I say, yesterday, I was actually called back to reviewing my environment again. And environment is probably a few layers down if you are just starting with human design. So you start with your type, then you move into your profiles, you move into your strategy, your authority, all that kind of stuff. And then somewhere down the line, you find yourself at this environment, ideal environment, aligned environment, if you want to put it that way. And there are various different types. I'm not going to go into all the types on this video. I am literally wanting to put this video here for my future self, so that when my future self comes to look into this again, because it comes round, it cycles round every now and again, it comes back to my awareness, I want to dig into it again. This video is literally here as a tool for my future self. However, when I've done this research, there's no point keeping it to myself, hence why I'm recording it right now and why it will be uploaded into my YouTube channel. Anyway, I am rambling. So let's just first talk about why this is important when you are wanting to reclaim your power. So my ethos on that, okay, is when we were born with everything that we need, okay? You were even born with every single hair follicle you will ever have. You were born with every single egg in your ovaries that you will ever have. We were born with everything. You were born with an innate knowing when you were hungry, when you needed to sleep, when you were happy, when you were sad. You were born with that. And that was what navigated you through your early years, those feelings, the way that you felt, right? And then we've got into kind of society, and we are then trained, and we're trained a little bit to suppress we're trained a lot to suppress our feelings, and we're trained to be led with the logic of the mind. And that is where we start to really suppress our power, because instead of using our energy, our vibration, our emotions, our frequency to enable us to live a better life or to navigate our life, we start to suppress it and ignore it and start using our head, and thereby hiding, suppressing, not using our power. So my vibe's all about helping women to reclaim their power, and I go first. I reclaim my power, I take the step, I learn the step, I do the thing, I embody the thing, and then I come back and generally record something or create a process within which you can take the steps, follow the map, Follow the map. I'm a projector in human design, which might explain a little bit more about kind of who I am and the vibe and things, but let's just dig into this because let's follow on from where I was talking before. So if we have not been trained out of the way, out of following our emotions, our feelings, and trusting that, okay, we would have been on a path to reach our destiny. We would have been on a path to an easy, flowful, abundant, happy life, okay? And because we got trained to suppress these feelings and these nudges and what is in effect our own sat-nav to live in life, we started to come away from the path, okay? And we got ourselves somewhere right over here, okay? So when I'm talking about reclaiming power, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about coming back to this path of alignment, this path of abundance, this path of ease, flow, everything that you ever desired, okay? I'm talking about bringing you back to the path. And we do that by peeling layers and by understanding ourselves a little bit more. And environment is a part of that, because when you are in the environment that is your aligned, energetic environment, which is shown up in your human design chart, you will find that is where your people, that is where your opportunities, that is where your peace and your happiness is. It is in that environment, okay? So, and it isn't about, like, one of the environments is kitchens, okay? It isn't about living life in your kitchen. It's about the acoustics. It's about the feeling. It's about the frequency of the environment. And it's about bringing that into your life wherever you can. It's about noticing it. It's about just this awareness of it and harnessing it to enable you to be in closer to that alignment. When you're closer to alignment, you're magnetic, more things cross your path that are things that are meant to be in your life. Okay, so let me just dig into the information that I've pulled together about wide valleys. There is a narrow valley, and I haven't researched that yet because I've had no need to do so. So I either do my research based on what I need to know, what I'm wanting to learn, what I'm wanting to dig in, or I do my research based on some of the women that I'm working with, what they need to know, you know, little videos for them, and I'll share them here too. Anyway, wide valleys, let's get on with it. Okay, so you are probably continuing to watch this video if you have a wide valley as your environment, or if someone who you know has wide valley as their environment. And what I want you to just bring to mind right now is I actually just want you to think, what comes to mind when you visualize a wide valley, okay? Rolling hills, open fields, wide bodies of water, natural light, not cluttered, it's just open and it's free, okay? Oftentimes valleys will have, I don't know, a stream running through them or something like that. So just bring to mind what you visualize when you think of a wide valley, okay? And the acoustics are very different in a wide valley than in a narrow valley, okay? So just have kind of, you know, it is a wide valley, okay? Don't really need to reiterate that, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so the wide valley brings through feelings of peace, of space, openness, freedom, seeing far and wide, seeing the big picture, okay? And if we think about the idea of a valley, it's calm, it's peaceful. any interactions or connections that you have in this wide valley are going to be laid back. It's going to be relaxed, okay? So that is kind of all the vibe. There's no cramped, chaotic, high energy in this place. It is just relaxed, okay? So what I want you to think about is, I want you to think about in the olden days, okay? These valleys, particularly with streams and things like that, they had shelter, they were great places, they had lookout areas from the rolling hills. They were kind of settlement areas, and they tended to be places where people would travel through. You would travel through the valley on your path to wherever you were going. And oftentimes, specifically if there was water in the area, stuff like that, people would gather and hang out there. They would be like, oh, let's stop here overnight and rest, and then tomorrow we will we'll get up and running and all that kind of stuff. And so that was where people used to gather. And maybe there was I don't know, there would be an exchange of ideas, an exchange of knowledge. They'd share food and other items that they've collected. There might be exchanges of, I'll give you this chicken, you give me your 3 gold coins, I don't know. But it was all about this exchange, okay? It was an exchange of energy. It was a sharing of ideas, a sharing of information, okay? So when we're talking about the wide valley, okay, what we're talking about is it's kind of like, you won't need to be at ground level. So it's about being at ground level, and it's about watching and connecting. If you've got a wide valley in your human design, then the chances are you are a very good people watcher. You probably love people watching. You are the true people watcher, okay? And you would probably be the person who would be observing. You would observe the visitors, the travelers coming through, and you would keep your ear to the ground. You would know what was going on. You would kind of hear what was happening. And then, if you found yourself interested in something that someone was talking about, someone was sharing, you'd maybe go up and you'd maybe kind of hear the gossip from the source, okay? So it would be kind of like really feeling in the know, feeling a part of things, feeling like you can see for miles, so you can see the big picture, okay? And it's about kind of the acoustics of the place, okay? So that kind of like muffled noise that you can hear when you're, I don't know, like when you're outdoors in your garden and you can hear kind of, next door but one, you can hear their lawnmower going, you can hear someone else's kids playing. That kind of muffled kind of noise that feels like it's quite far away but yet it's quite close is the perfect kind of acoustics for you. What you don't want is you don't want lots of loud noise close to you. And if you find yourself in that kind of situation, earphones are very good. Using earphones to cancel out a little bit of that noise, okay? I'm just looking through my notes. What have I said? What haven't I said? So you have this need for openness in connections. So when you've got friendships and things like that, in your employment, in things like that, whatever relationships you've got, you have this kind of need for openness, honesty, openness of everyone in the group. And when you don't feel that, it starts to feel a little bit kind of, this doesn't feel right somehow, okay? You are going to be the kind of person who isn't going to go through rapid growth. You're going to be slow and steady, and you're going to make changes slow and steady in your life. So this kind of like, it's almost like a little bit removed from the hustle and bustle. So things like online chats and friendships in the virtual space is actually really good for you, because you can step in and step out and step in and step out, and you've got that openness with people there, that ease, okay? So Being at ground level, watching and connecting, a true people watcher, sharing, communication, intimacy, echoes, far away acoustics, keeping your ear to the ground, but always hearing the gossip or the word, hearing the word from the source, okay? So another description of a wide valley I've written down is a place where you are meeting the flow of people and information, okay? A place where you are meeting the flow of people and information, okay? And what led me to researching wide valleys was actually just a feeling of social media. What was social media? I was feeling a bit awkward about social media. I was feeling a bit uncomfortable with it, and I was like, what is it? You know, what's the environment that I feel when I'm in social media? And for me, it's a lot of hustle and bustle, and lots of people shouting, lots of people wanting to get an attention. But actually, when I started digging into wide valleys, I began to realize that actually social media is a wide valley, really, because it's a place where information and people are flowing into your feed, and you can choose the conversation that interests you, and you can join in that conversation, okay? Or you can stay out of that conversation. So it's easy for you to join the conversation and share information. But it's also, if it doesn't interest you, you can stay out of it, and you're receiving this flow of people and information. So I feel now like social media is actually a wide valley for me. And I'm seeing now the openness, the freedom, the calmness, the peacefulness, and the laid back connections, the laid back gatherings and groups that we have in these and on these platforms. And I'm seeing it in a different way now. Okay, so I think that's kind of pretty much hammered home what it is. As I said, it's all about acoustics, it's about the frequency of the place. Okay, so I talked a lot about different energies, peace, space, openness, calm. That's all energies, right? That's all frequencies, it's emotions, it's the vibe, okay? So I've talked a lot about that, and that is really what the wide valley is about. But I wanted to give you a vibe of kind of the interactions that come through, and how it kind of, the feel of how the people, the opportunities, the peace, the happiness come to you from the wide valley perspective. So sorry, something buzzed and I don't know what it was. Anyway, so lost my track of thought now. Yeah, okay. So how can we use this, okay, to bring our lives more in alignment with our energetic blueprint? So the first thing I did is I actually looked at different things of my life, and like, all I need to do is go out of my back door into my garden and look out over my view, and my view is a wide valley. That's what it is. It's a wide valley, there's rolling hills, there's no water, but there's woodland and there's stuff like that, and I'm like, wow, no wonder I feel so at peace in this house, because I am in my wide valley, okay? Then I kind of started thinking about other areas, and I started thinking about where I'm going on holiday. And I realised that the view that I have from that place is far and wide, but it's into different resorts. So from where I am on holiday, the view is huge. So again, I'm getting that feeling of a wide valley. So then what I actually did, and this is where I kind of began to change my perception of social media again, was I then did a meditation. So I sat down and I thought about an area of my life. Like I say, for me it was social media, an area of my life, and then I focused in on that area, and then brought in the idea of the valley into it, brought in the idea of the wide valley into it, and I began to kind of realize that it was, you know, social media could be this wide valley for me. My work could be this wide valley for me, you know? And there was a lot of stuff that came through. I was kind of a little bit on the outskirts of the hubbub, the travelers, the the people who were calling in. I was a little bit on the outskirts, and so that I could watch, so that I could see. Okay, but that's the projectedness in me. I'm just having a look and seeing if there's anything that I wrote down, because I wrote my notes after my meditation. Yeah, I mean, that's it really. That this idea came through of, I was over there in this kind of area and I was just living my best life. And I could hear people talking, like the next door but one neighbour in the garden playing with the kids. And, you know, if I heard something that was like, oh, that's interesting, then I could go and find out more about it. But until something actually came into my awareness that was like, oh, they've got some, you know, some good jewellery over there, I'm gonna go and check that out. Until something actually flowed into my awareness, I didn't go find it. Does that make sense? And I was just over here just living my best life, and occasionally people came to find me, but I think that was part of my projectedness coming through, waiting for the invite and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of the stuff that came up for me. That's the stuff that came up in my research. And I hope if you have wide valleys, I hope that that's helped you to kind of feel into what that means. Because when you first come across it, it's a bit like, a wide valley. But think about spaciousness. Think about that, you know, I almost think about Julie Andrews in The Sound of Music, you know, just spinning around and, you know, high on a hill and a lonely goat and all that kind of stuff. Because that was kind of the vibe that I got. It's kind of free and it's just easy and it's peaceful and it's, you know, it's just me unless I hear something flows to me. Anyway, hope that helps somebody somewhere, and I hope it helps my future self at some point when I need to dig back into wide valleys or expand on this. And yeah, I think that'll do for now. So if you've watched all this, you know, subscribe to my channel. I'm full. There's all sorts of nuggets of information that I share, you know, that might be of interest. And keep your eyes peeled for my other human design videos that will be coming. If you are someone who would like my guidance into activating your human design, then just drop me a comment. Just put something like, you know, human design. I don't know. Just drop me a comment or send me a message or whatever, and we can sort that out. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. And, you know, I hope that's given you a little bit of an activation with regards to your wide valley environment.